Okay, so looking back at the suspension, the Civic, this set of cheap aftermarket Chinese coilovers that we got are pretty good. For what they are, they actually do a really good job. Now, we blew a seal in one of these, in the front one, like 12 months ago, and repaired that. Since then, one of the rear ones is leaking, but this one's not. So we're going to dismantle this one. We're going to do both the back ones at the same time. Dismantle this one, check exactly how much fluid's in there, change all the seals. So we're going to do a bit of a step-by-step process on this one of how to rip these apart. The seals aren't just something you can go and buy off eBay fitted to this. It's something we've had to source, so we're going to go back and resource a few sets of these. We're going to do a step-by-step on this of how to rip it apart, service it, put it back together. Hopefully it can help someone else out there who's damaged theirs. Before removing the top retaining nut on the top plate, ensure that there is no spring pressure against this plate for safety reasons. Once this nut is taken off, the top plate and spring will easily be removed. Removing the top locking collar for the inner dampening shock can be done one of several ways. A specialised tool can be used that hooks into two holes that are on top of this plate, or in this case I used a pipe wrench to remove this area.
I ain't kidding. Boss. Demon on rhythm sauce.
Okay, so coilovers are apart. Took a couple of days, but we got our new seals and O-rings for here. So we bought extras to do the other one at the front at some stage, and then a spare one just in case. So now the main thing now is to clean both of these in and out. So we'll get that, and then we'll just pick one, put it together, and the next one. So for these, this one has been completely pulled from this end, so you can see all the plates in here to the inside of the piston. And this one, we've pulled apart the end of this so you can see the extra plates in here. So all these have got to go back in a certain way, and just to double check that, we'll pull this one, check it, get this in order, and vice versa. So we'll get to the cleaning, we'll get these back together. It won't even take that long, and hopefully we've got enough auto trans fluid. We'll measure out what was in there, and that's what we're going to be using. There is a whole bunch of different aftermarket types of oils that can be used. Everything from standard drive right up to high-end competition race oils. I was just told chuck in auto transmission fluid, which is what we did in the front one for we're not racing the car. So we'll do a bit more research, and it can always be changed later on. It's easy enough to strip it out. But for now, auto trans, we'll get them back together and get them back in the car. sure to clean the outer and inner main housing of the shock before reassembly. This will limit the incursion of foreign debris inside any sealed area, causing an issue again.
I ain't kidding. Boss.
Removing the nut from the bottom end of the inner dampening shock to gain access to the lower valve, ensure that all these parts go back as they were fitted, as this can alter the performance later on.
Drop that bitch. Drop that bitch.
Okay, when we pulled this apart, one of the things we found on the main piston shaft, I suppose what it's called, is this rust here. Now this spacer sits on here, obviously this bolts through to the top of the car. Now the thing we found is that's rusted on here, so what we're going to do, we're going to clean this up before we put it all back together, clean this up and pack it full of grease. It'll help prevent it from rusting any further and hopefully causing any damage in there. I mean, the damage now is very minor, but we want to prevent any more of that. Even been a cheap set, I mean, we get longevity out of them. This is recycling, basically. I'm doing good for the environment. So I'm going to clean that, pump that full of grease, and then keep it back together. With reassembly of all valves, ensure all components are clean and dried before reassembly. Ensure that there is no foreign debris in these parts and they are placed back together in the correct order in which they came apart. So last time we measured the oil in the dampener, we actually just filled it up to capacity, and we took away the amount of where the screw plate went in. Then we also took away the amount of this. So that way the volume would consume and not have twice as much in there. So when it sat in there empty, all that fluid would be around it, and when it drew, it would be inside of it with minimals on the outside. Seemed to work out all right, but we're actually going to measure this, and I'm curious to see how that works out. I don't remember how much was in the other one. Didn't measure it. It was all just by eye. So we're going to measure this now. So we're going to pour it into this paint. So this is pretty much, this coming out of the one that wasn't blown. So probably just a touch more than what's in here, obviously, but you're looking around What's that? Say 150 mils. So we'll measure out to that, pour it in, and we'll put it back together at that. As the inner dampening shock goes into the new oil, pressurise this several times by pumping it up and down to ensure that it works correctly before complete reassembly, just in case something has been put back together in an incorrect fashion.
That's so disgusting! We'll be fine, let's party! Ooh, boy! Say about that. Very guilty. I'm the devil, biatch. Just kidding, my new catchphrase is I don't give a say about that. Very guilty. I'm the devil, biatch. Just kidding, my new catchphrase is I don't give a
ever get that feeling that you think you're gonna die? When your heart's a minute beating, makes you wanna cry. When you feel you can't go on with this somber life, every time you get close to the top, you fall crashing down from the sky, crashing down from the sky. Ooh. In your stomach to the floor, when your hands won't stop the shaking and you can't take anymore, when everything you've lived for just walked out the door, every time you get close to the top, you fall crashing down from the sky, crashing down from the sky. Unsettled, I feel the plucking of our petals. I'm drawing circles, don't you know? Protect the seed that wants to go to the garden, power territory. dangerous to get distracted. I'm drawing circles, don't you know? Take the seed that wants to go to a garden of the territory.
So there's two back together. So a little trick that obviously just clearly was very lucky with the last two is that in here the internal sort of black collar that went inside of that piston goes one way or the other. So it has to be a certain way, and it was the wrong way around. It wouldn't build pressure, so we flipped it the other way because I noticed it had a taper on it. Seems to be working good now. But anyway, these are both back together, so back in the car they go, and then hopefully they don't leak again. But we have the seals, we can rebuild them. We might even put that out as a kit. I don't know whether these are all the same size seals throughout different cars, but hey, who knows? It's there, put some measurements, and people can have them if they need them.